The following program contains explicit American history. If you suffer from stupidity, Randall may not be right for you. Check with your revisionist historian.
Standing for truth in the four corners of America. Fighting for justice on the frontiers of the culture wars. And turning resistance into an art form. The only TV host arrested more times than Mahatma Gandhi, Randall Terry.
Hey, how are you, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, your servant Randall. Good to be with you. They got 2 out of 3, right? You pick which 2. Oh! Terrifying the wicked with the truth. That's our job here. Today's program brought to you in part by Project Veritas. Kicking booty and taking names. And by NPR, whose booty got kicked and whose name got taken. I'll be right back after a quick word from my friend, Joey the Hammer.
I have to ask you, did you see this sting against NPR? This kid, oh, what a wise guy, James O'Keefe in Project Veritas. He brings this hidden camera in and gets them on TV saying all kinds of crazy things. You know, I've been in a sting situation once or twice myself, unjustly caught up, I might say, in other people's deeds. But he's got these guys dead to right. Their careers are finished in broadcasting. Destaduras, elitist morons is what I call them. Anyway, my advice for Mr. O'Keefe is twofold. Number 1, young man, watch your backside. You are irritating some very powerful people, and they are going to find out where you live, and you might be in a situation that is less than desirable. And number 2, if you're going to go after people of power, I suggest that you go up on Capitol Hill. Start with that piece of work, Eric Holder, over at the Attorney General's office, and go from there. I promise you, you'll have enough TV footage to fill a network.
Welcome back to the program, friend. I have to tell you something. This show is going to be fun. Fun. Let's start with the buzz story that's all over the world. Boom, boom, boom. Pff, another Schiller bites the dust. Huh. Boom, boom, boom. Pff, another Schiller bites the dust. You made it funny. Schiller will no longer be killer. All right, I have to calm down. As you probably know, Vivian Schiller, who is the CEO of NPR, is going bye-bye, along with unrelated Ron Schiller, who also immediately went bye-bye between the time that we taped yesterday's program and we're making today's show. These people, all right, before we go any further, 2 things. Number 1, we're going to roll the tape for you. But I want you to know that a lot of these news outlets that are showing some of this footage are avoiding the overtly religious aspects of it. This conversation showed an intensely anti-Christian bigot, okay, and someone who's pretty anti-Israel at some level, and somebody who thought that Muslims just have to have a voice in our schools and in the media, and it's so important. It's like when women didn't have a voice in politics. All right, just roll the tape.
The current Republican Party, particularly the Tea Party, is fanatically involved in people's personal lives and very fundamental Christian, and I wouldn't even call it Christian. It's this weird evangelical kind of move. I think that the current Republican Party is not really the Republican Party. It's been hijacked by this group that is
radical, racist, Islamophobic, Tea Party people.
And not just Islamophobic, but really xenophobic. I mean, basically, they believe that sort of white, middle America, gun-toting, I mean, it's pretty scary. They're serious.
Well, frankly, I don't even know what they're talking about. Ron, what are you talking about? You calling us gun-toting, evangelical, not even Christian, Jew-loving, xenophobic, anti-intellectual morons who ain't quite as good as you people up there in New York City, part of the elite? Ronnie, you want some of this? You little sissified wussy? Come on. I'm just kidding. You know, let's be honest for a minute. These people are not intelligent. They're actually foolish. See, it's our ability to make fun of ourselves that shows that we're not uptight. We're not the ones that have certain psychological problems going on. It's those people. It's people like Ron Schiller and Vivian Schiller who are now canned. There's a verse in the scripture, listen to me, that says this: the fool has said in his heart, no God. The fool. There's another passage that says that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. I urge you to go online and watch the entire 11-minute segment. They clipped it down. There's actually a 2-hour piece of footage you can watch from beginning to end. But go ahead and watch the 11-minute segment with some of the lowlights from that interview. And you'll see Ron Schiller talking about the lack of liberal, intelligent people. Yeah, as if that little hierarchy of elite who used to be at NPR, now they find themselves unemployed, that they represent the very best of intellectual prowess. They're the smart ones. And part of them, of course, being smart is that they will open their arms to Islam and the Muslim Brotherhood and consider a $5 million contribution and giving people a voice like the National Palestinian Radio broadcast. That's what you'll see on there, that one of them laughed. She thought that was just plain funny. National Palestinian Radio. See, they pretend that to be wise means you have to hate Christianity, mock the Tea Party, mock the Second Amendment, your right to keep and bear arms, to mock people who believe in the scriptures, to say that we're not Zionists and we want to give Islam a fair shake. So I'm sick of pretending that these people are intelligent. They are articulate fools. They are articulate fools. We have to stop pretending that they're intelligent. In fact, did you notice that he could barely speak a cohesive sentence with proper grammar? I know this may come as a shock to you, but I usually don't use a teleprompter. We go from an outline and then go forward. I actually, and many of you, can speak in cohesive sentences and our subject matches the predicate. This guy couldn't even hold an intelligent conversation. If you read it on a transcript, you would be embarrassed for him. And this is somebody who thinks that those of us that value the Second Amendment and believe in God and that we're part of the Tea Party, that we are morons. By the way, for any of you who are just a little bit timid, that was all a joke, the whole thing with the gun, all right? I would be able to have lunch with Ron and not have a camera present and discuss what it means to have true intellectual journalism. And so let me close this segment on that thought. Juan Williams got fired from NPR because he could not be objective if he felt that way about Muslims. Ron and Vivian Schiller, they're both canned because of their lack of objectivity. Dan Rather lost his job at CBS because he didn't check his sources, fabricated a story about George Bush. And he's an icon in the industry. Please hear me. Please hear me. When fundamental ethics are involved, there is probably no such thing as objective journalism in the sense that a journalist school wants to teach it. A, B, C. Let me role play for you so you see what I'm talking about. How can you go into Auschwitz and be an objective journalist? I'm here talking with Sergeant Schultz, who believes in the teachings of Mein Kampf and that Jews are, and I quote, human rats. Sergeant Schultz, yes, we have the right to get rid of the Jews. They are a disgusting problem in our society. Now, Rabbi Feinstein does not agree. Rabbi, we are all made in the image of God. No, that's a Spanish accent. I lost my Jewish accent. He says we're all made in the image of God and we have a right to life. Sergeant Schultz, well, we are humans who have a right to life and the ability to rid ourselves of the Jewish problem. Rabbi Feinstein's wife, Mrs. Feinstein, all we want is to be left in peace. Please, can't someone help us? Well, as you can see, the Jewish question has many opinions. You, the viewer, get to decide. Back to you, Dan. You can't have that. It's absurd on its face. And so when you're covering something like the killing of babies in the womb or the homosexual militants trying to overrun marriage, if you say you're being objective and you betray fundamental ethics as given to us by our Creator, you're not being objective, you're being a fool. You might be articulate, you might be able to muddy the water with clever arguments, but if you do not stand for truth, then you are a fool. And in the name of objectivity, you give license to criminal acts or to debauchery. I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will play another segment from NPR to show just what these people are all about. And we'll be talking about Congressman King's hearings on Capitol Hill regarding the threat of militant Islam. Could it be somebody in the U.S. government is finally waking up to reality? It must be they had a very strong cup of Arabian coffee. I love this stuff.
President Obama is the first case of polio since the widespread use of the Sabin and Salk vaccines. Infantile paralysis.
Moments with Moses. The Lord will smite you with consumption and with fever, inflammation and fiery heat, and with drought and mildew.
Welcome back to the program, friend. It is I, your servant, Randall. By the way, if you want to get updates from us on our activism, on really interesting research about the peaceful religion of Islam, about politics, go to randallterry.com and join our email list. It's free, and you're going to get more content from the emails that we send you, my opinion, than most of what you will find on the internet, because we take it really seriously. All right. We're going to play another clip here from the expose that Project Veritas did concerning NPR, just because there's a couple things that he says here that are worth noting in the elite media world where they're so intelligent. Ronnie, I want to be as intelligent as you when I grow up. Play the tape.
Our organization was originally founded by a few members of the Muslim Brotherhood in America, actually.
But I think it's, I think what we all believe is that if we don't have Muslim voices in our schools, on the air, it's the same thing that we faced, as a nation when we didn't have female voices.
About the Jewish funding that apparently dried up. The extent to which the Jews do kind of control the media. Or at least certainly the Zionists and the people who have the interest in swaying media coverage toward in the favorable direction of Israel. And since Palestine, the Palestinian viewpoint is again the red eye. The Palestinian viewpoint, since NPR is one of the few places that has the courage to really present it, there's kind of a joke that we used to call it. National Palestinian Radio.
All right, I just want to ask a question. Is Ron Schiller comparing Muslims to women? I don't know. Is he afraid of women? When's the last time that a suffragette, that's somebody who's fighting for women's voting rights in case you ain't educated up in one of them northeastern liberal colleges, in case you ain't smart like him. When's the last time that a suffragette went onto a bus and blew herself up and killed a bunch of men, women, and children on the bus? When's the last time that a suffragette decapitated her spouse and was involved in an honor killing? This mix and match stuff's got to stop. I've got to take a break. When we come back, Congressman Pete King from Long Island, New York, holding hearings. Ooh, now these hearings are going to dominate the news. Listen to me. Listen to me. Don't be afraid to say the truth. All I want from Ron Schiller and Vivian Schiller, you know what all that I want from them is? Ready for this? Say what you say in public. Say the same thing in private. What you say in private, say in public. Don't be two people. Just be an honest person. I'm going to be honest with you. Historic, Orthodox, fundamental Islam is a threat to humanity. It is a threat to human lives. Thank God that Pete King is at least beginning to broach this subject. Don't go away. I'll be right back.
And your platform will be no property taxes, no IRS, no Social Security, no abortion, and no homosexuals. Good luck with that, buddy.
And your camera tactics don't scare me.
Democracy is a very bad form of government, except for all the others that have been tried from time to time. Sir Winston Churchill. Welcome back to the program, friend. Some of you may know that I recently completed the work for a master's program in diplomacy and international terrorism. Got a couple things left to do and to walk down the aisle and get my master's certificate, which I'm frankly very excited about and very honored. But I've spent an enormous amount of my time, when I'm not in the public eye, studying Islam, studying Mohammed, studying terrorist groups, studying the ideology of terrorism, much of it with undergraduate work and even more with graduate level work. Any of you who have ever gone to graduate school know that it is a Herculean effort. As you would know, going to undergraduate school. Graduate school is even tougher. I'll just put it at that. The media elite, the men and women in Congress, most of them, like Ron Schiller, don't understand anything about Islam. Not only have they not read the Quran, that's an easy one. They have not studied the Hadith. They have not studied the Sunnah. They have not tried to understand Sharia law. They've never studied the life of Muhammad, the founder of Islam. And because of that, they just don't know what they're talking about. And they say foolish things and silly things. If you're going to be a devout Muslim, you look to the founder, the founding light, Muhammad. If you're going to be a devout Christian, you look to the founder of Christianity, Jesus Christ. I'm often asked, because of my study and because of my writings and my video series, what would Muhammad do? I'm often asked for people often ask me to boil it down in a simple sentence. And it's very difficult and often a little bit dangerous to do that. But I can give you one bumper sticker that you need to memorize, and you can say, and it's true. And it will be true today, tomorrow, and 100 years from now. You ready? Jesus Christ died to start Christianity. Muhammad killed to start Islam. Let me say it again. Say it out loud with me. Jesus Christ died to start Christianity. Muhammad killed to start Islam. I'm going to take a break, be right back with a great quote from one of our founding fathers. Don't go away.
Can wicked rulers be allied with thee, who frame mischief by statute? They band together against the life of the righteous and condemn the innocent to death. But the Lord has become my stronghold, and my God, the rock of my refuge. He will bring back on them their iniquity and wipe them out for their wickedness. The Lord our God will wipe them out.
John Adams, speaking about our forefathers, said, "Recollect their amazing fortitude, their bitter sufferings, the hunger, the nakedness, the cold. Recollect the civil and religious principles and hopes and expectations which constantly supported and carried them through all hardships with patience and resignation." My question to you and I is this: are we willing to suffer hardships for those same religious principles of freedom? May God make it so.